My name's Steve and I love people who make things.
You might need to take off your trousers, and we see...
A number of times people have asked me to take off my trousers in a workshop hand. They sit at the heart of our communities, spreading wealth across the country.
I look forward to Mondays.
I love Mondays too.
And I'm going to die here. I'm never going to retire.
The isolation is great, no crowds apart from the tourists and sheep.
And the occasional podcaster like me. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
These are uncertain economic times. Keep our manufacturers alive and we'll thrive.
We all learn how to do everything here because there's so few of us left.
It is becoming a little harder to get young kids out of college that want to get their hands dirty and learn some of these very traditional art forms.
Join me as we compile a list of the greatest items made in the UK and hear stories from inside our factories.
My father has a phrase, he said, you should plan like you're going to live forever and live like you're going to die tomorrow, which I think is a very good way of looking at it.
We need you to live much longer than that, Martin. Welcome to the factory next door and welcome to the town of Nelson in Lancashire. It's about 20 miles east of Preston. Now this town really expanded rapidly during the Industrial Revolution, driven by cotton mills. Most of them have long disappeared, but some remnants of the industry still linger, which is why you and I are stood on an industrial estate just on the edge of town. We're off to see a company which has been going for more than 160 years now and produces the very finest handcrafted bed linen. It's called Peter Reed. Cannot wait to get into the factory and have a nosy. I'm going to say hello at reception. Whilst I do that, you have a listen to what's coming up in today's show.
We start from like a 210 thread count and can go up to a 2000 thread count.
Well, this is a striking set of bed linen, this.
The maids slept in quality A and the lord of the manor slept in quality B. It was all white, so basically when it's washed, how do you tell the difference?
Could you ever envisage a scenario where there is a revival of cotton weaving here? Is this your baby, Kay?
They're all my babies.
There's no technical colleges now. People aren't training weavers, people aren't training weaving technicians. And I'm always telling them how skilled they are.
Andrew's shaking her head there. Sean?
I shall speak afterwards. Sean Clayton, Managing Director.
Okay, Sean, we're stood by a big door. What's on the other side of this door?
That sounds like a TV programme, doesn't it? What's on the other side of the door? So basically, this is the door to the production. This is where the production for Peter Reed starts.
Let's go through the door. That does sound like a TV show, it really does. Okay, big workshop.
Yeah, so this is the beginning of the process. The fabric we use comes into us from Italy. We use Italy because the resources in the UK now have disappeared following the sort of demise of the textile industry. It's sad, but it's a fact of life that the UK doesn't weave what we need. So it comes in from Italy. And the first...
When did that happen? When did
It'd be back in the 1970s, wasn't it? When the big mills started to go and people started to go offshore. So basically what you've got left now are more specialist, probably smaller businesses, more specialised. So you pick your niche market and and build on that.
Now then, looking around, I see a lot of pallets with the very finest cloth on, and that's in the front part. And then at the back part, I see a lot of what look like exceedingly sophisticated embroidery machines.
Yeah, so what you're seeing first of all on the pallets is obviously the fabric that's here, that's come into us. So the first process of production is cutting. Our main product is white, but within that we have probably 15 qualities of white. We start from like a 210 thread count and can go up to a 2000 thread count.
Describe this machine to me. It's quite striking.
Yeah, so basically what you've got here, you've got a 12-head embroidery machine. So here's Kay, who'll tell us all about it.
Kay, the legendary Kay. Is this your baby, Kay?
They're all my babies.
Tell me what you do here, Kay.
I put all the embroidery onto the duvets, pillowcases. So I set all the machines up, put all the threads in. And
You make that sound really easy. I suspect it's not.
No, it's not. It's just a matter of trying to set it all up and put it in the right place for everybody.
Do you do embroidery away from the office?
Yes.
Away from here? Or were you kind of like, when you leave, are you like, I don't want to see a needle again?
No, I have an embroidery machine at home. I have an embroidery machine and several sewing machines at home. So yeah, I don't just do it here. I actually do it as a hobby.
Have you always done that? Have you always kind of worked with needles and sewing?
Yeah, from school, I went from school to Burnley College, where I did art and fashion. So I've come through from sewing from school, really. I enjoy the embroidery side because it's seeing all the intricate stuff. It can take like sometimes up to 4 to 5 hours to run one particular design if there's a lot of embroidery on.
4 to 5 hours to do one piece of bedding?
Yeah, it can be. It depends on how much embroidery's gone into it, how many threads it is from setting it all up. Each head has got 9 bobbins on, so you've got 9 different colour changes, like when you've got 12 heads.
I need to do some maths. 9 times 12. Come on, Kay, help me out.
No, maths is not my strong point. We have to wear big headsets because of the noise level. This is a sample that we're running for a competition winner from the UCLan or UCLan. Yeah. So obviously when I set this running, this will be really, really loud. Yeah, this is. The girl that's won the competition that we're doing the sample for, she's chosen 3 colours, and she's decided on which colour runs where and everything. So I put them in the right position, and the machine, it'll tell me how many stitches it is for the complete design, and then I punch in which colour is for which needle, and then this is running at 802 stitches a second.
And so for this design here, looking at your computer screen there, is it 36,034 stitches?
Yeah. So this might take me about anything between half an hour to 40 minutes. That's just for one pillowcase.
I'm 3rd generation textiles. My background is weaving fabrics. My initial studies were 4 years at Bradford College for textile design and colour, training to be also a weaving technician. That was in the family business. I spent 10 years in the family business, and then walking to work one morning just thought to myself, am I going to be walking down this road for the next how many years? So I decided then that I would leave the family business and do my own thing. I think that was just a little bit part of me wanting to prove I could make it in the big world without, well, it's all right for you, you work for your dad. No, I'll go out and do it myself. Moved around Yorkshire and Lancashire in various, like weaving managers, production manager and things like that. But then came to work at Peter Reid. No knowledge of pillowcases and duvet covers and things like that. But obviously I knew fabric.
I want to just ask about the family business.
Mm-hmm.
What was the family business?
So it was called a weaving company.
Is it still going?
So to be honest, it closed in December. The market it was in started to get a lot of imports against it, and we couldn't, the price you can't. For a lot of what the fabric was for like upholstery. So a lot of these big players now are bringing the upholstery in from overseas, and you just can't compete. Yeah. And if you're not careful, you try to. I always sort of say, if you're not careful, what you don't want to do is you don't want to start chasing a rat down a rat hole, and because it won't work. You can't. When you get into that business, it's like, well, if you can do it for another 20p cheaper, we'll give you the business, and then somebody else does it for 20p cheaper, then it's. So I think also I lost my father in November, and he was the chairman of the business, and he was like still active in the business. So I think when the sort of the guy who started it isn't around, it changes. So he passed away before the business finished, which was nice. Which I was glad that he wasn't around when it finally shut, because it would have been a sad time for him.
I'm sure that was painful for the family.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, and I think the reason it hung on so long was because Dad was, it was his baby. He wanted, he put a lot into it. And when I left, it was one of those things where, I spoke to Dad about it, and Dad said, "Well, you've got to do your own thing. You've got to go and, if you want to go into the big world, go in the big world." And you take a lot of things that you learn with you. I think running a family business, this is similar here. It's not a family business, but it's a small team, so it's a family. We try and make it a good environment to work in. We try and look after the team, and I think all those things help to make the business successful. I think what happens is when you're doing something so often, you don't appreciate the skills that you have.
I hear that. I come across that so often where I ask someone about what they're doing and they're really almost quite dismissive of the work that they're doing. And you're like, oh no, for me watching you, it's amazing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Whenever we get anybody coming in to have a look round, they're amazed at the work and the skills that go into it. But individuals, and I think it is a bit of a northern thing, isn't it? Where, well, it's what I do.
Up some stairs.
Downstairs is very much the preparation of the product, and then upstairs you'll see is where the product is put together, and then where we do our sort of classic cording and signature cording, which you can see.
Oh, this is a nice room.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a room in terms of the setup that I would recognise a little. You've got rows of sewing machines.
Correct.
And then off to the right, kind of the benches where you're ironing and pressing and getting everything looking amazing before going out to customers.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, you see everything is up on pedestals. Most of the machines do different functions, and the team we have can move from machine to machine. So we,
Just briefly, sorry, Sean.
Yeah.
Why are all the machines up on pedestals?
So basically, when we're doing things like duvets, you can see the length of a duvet hung. So if the pedestals weren't there, that's going to be dragging on the floor. So every Friday we finish early, vac down, clean down, brush, sweep, because we're selling product that's expensive.
Yeah, it is extremely clean in here. So actually, we're stood on a floor which is painted with a kind of a mint green, but you can literally rub your finger along the floor and there is nothing there.
Resin coated, purely so that obviously we can sweep up easier. So Andrea is doing what we call classic cording. Have you got some cording that you've done, Andrea, there? The signature cord, that was created in 1861 when we were sort of providing linens to big homes, big houses, and things like that, where it was, again, when we talked downstairs about different quality of fabric. So basically, the maids slept in quality A, and the lord of the manor slept in quality B. It was all white, so basically when it's washed, how do you tell the difference? So Peter Reid created a signature cord, which was like the first laundry mark. So like the low quality had one row on, and the high quality had two on, for example. So when it came out of the wash, they knew that the two goes upstairs and the one stays downstairs. The classic cord, that appearance, that ridge, is made by cramming threads together so that it creates this ridge. So we can go 1, 2 or 3, and you can have this in whatever colour you want. So again, all done by hand.
I was just about to say, isn't this another classic example of what we were talking about, where someone's making something look very, very easy here?
Exactly, I mean, Andrew's been doing this for a few years now, but obviously because she's doing it all the time, she makes it look easy, but it's not. It's and this is what I'm saying. People underestimate the skills that they have, and I'm always telling them how skilled they are.
Andrew's shaking her head there, Sean.
I shall speak afterwards.
Hi, I want to jump in here and give a shout out to our show's partner, a company that has a long history of helping manufacturers optimise their operations. AVEVA is a leader in industrial intelligence and was founded almost 50 years ago in Cambridge. Its software connects and empowers people to improve plant productivity, sustainability and business agility. And if you're interested in manufacturing, which I'm guessing you are if you're hanging out with me, AVEVA's got a newsletter. Please do sign up to it. Go to www.aveva.com/factory. I'll put the website in the show notes. My thanks to AVEVA for supporting our manufacturers and our show. So on site here, you've got your expert cutters, you've got your expert embroiderers, not the weavers anymore.
No.
But give me an idea of who your customers are then. Who are you selling to? Who comes to Peter Reid?
So we have the business is sort of split down the middle. We retail our product, and we retail our product through stores like Harrods. And then the special projects side is very much high net worth clients, ultra high net worth clients, who want specific things for the super yacht, for the private jet, for the villas, for the homes around the world. And to be honest, we're lucky as a brand, because the majority of our sort of business comes from people who know Peter Reid.
And you've got a royal warrant. Does that matter? I don't ask that flippantly. I mean that in terms of, does it actually boost business?
Yeah, what the royal warrant does for us is, the royal warrant is, I suppose, the ultimate quality kite mark. People look at it and go, actually, if you're supplying the royal households with product, that product must be of a great quality. It must have come from a brand that's a sustainable brand. It must have come from a brand that trade honestly. For me, when I'm travelling internationally, people will ask the question of, so give us an idea of sort of customers, and I'll say the royal household and Harrods. Right, fine. We don't need to know any more.
Before we hit record on this chat, you mentioned something that really caught my ear, and you were talking about dealing with ultra high net worth individuals. And you said one of the things that is quite important is you don't get involved in politics and you don't get involved in religion. I just want you to tell me a little bit more about that, because I was fascinated by that comment.
I think, obviously, we've got clients from all over the world. We've got clients from various, cultural backgrounds. We've got clients who have their own views on politics. We've got clients from parts of the world which are making headlines for various reasons and things. And I think the reason to stay clear of politics and stay clear of religion is, you never know who you're going to upset. Peter Reid makes bedding. We don't make policy decisions around the world, and it's not for Peter Reid to have an opinion on politics and religion. So we have to basically be very, very careful, and we're always, when new clients come on board, when new retailers come on board, we always tend to do a little bit of a background search onto, are they involved in anything that might bring our name into disrepute? I always sort of say to people, I like to, but there's lots of things that keep me awake, but I don't want to make myself stay awake by being promoted in the wrong arena. When it's completed, it comes over to Lynn.
This is a striking set of bed linen, this.
Yeah, so this is, again, majority of what we do is white, but we also have that facility to offer clients colours if they choose to be. So Lynn's obviously ironing it, pressing everything, and at the same time checking for quality before it moves over and gets packed and dispatched.
It's a lovely grey set with a fabulous kind of dark grey cording, would that be?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is this particular colour is a standard product for Harrods. This is our last view of things before it gets to the customer. So it's important here that we pick up on anything, put it right. Everything is shipped from here. So we're shipping, obviously UK is our biggest market. We ship to US, we ship to probably our third biggest customer is South Korea. So we ship to South Korea, ship to China, a little bit to Europe, a little bit, well, we just started now in Dubai, potentially looking at Qatar. So we're shipping, we're shipping globally. And then obviously when it comes down to the bespoke, for say like super yachts and things, we might be shipping super yacht stuff to the Caribbean, to the Monaco, to the south of France. So we ship direct to where the super yacht is.
South Korea sounds very interesting.
So we've been dealing with South Korea for about 28 years now. They obviously love Peter Reed because of the Britishness. And it is interesting when you do go to the stores over there. It's obviously how they imagine it to be, because in the stores where Peter Reed is, they'll have a post box, a pillar box, red post box. They'll have a model with an Irish Guards. We have, they have a picture of Buckingham Palace. So it's very much, what a tourist would see when they come to London. But no,
Postcard Britain.
Sorry?
Postcard Britain.
Absolutely. So as I say, we are spreading our wings a little bit and going a lot more international than we used to be. I mean, a big part of our business, a big expense of our business, is the Peter Reed name is trademark, copyright covered. Part of my role is to protect the brand, and I'm very mindful of, the brand getting into the wrong hands. People will say, well, can we use the brand and manufacture ourselves? No, because we have a standard for Peter Reed bedding, and I don't want anybody else making Peter Reed bedding, because I don't know then what they're going to make.
Hi, my name's Leo and my dad is Steve, host of this show. People often don't realise he does the factory next door all by himself. The recording, the editing, even the illustrations on Instagram. He's mildly talented, but he still needs a large amount of external validation. I guess as he grows up, he'll learn to be more self-confident like me. But until then, it'd be great if you could star the show on Apple or Spotify. Maybe even leave a nice review. Thanks! I'll let you get back to the show now.
You've mentioned a few times, kind of just slightly wistfully reflecting on the fact that we're not weaving, and you can't buy the cloth within the UK. Actually, you buy it now from Italy, and obviously you've just shared the story about your family business. Could you ever envisage a scenario where there is a revival of cotton weaving here?
I don't think so. I think there's too much time has gone between the demise of textiles and where we are now. I can't imagine somebody investing £umpteen million in a new weaving factory, because I think the easiest thing is to, the easiest thing for me would be to basically go to the landlord next door and say, right, can we empty that place? I want to put 16 machines in. Yeah, no problem, Sean. I go to Italy, I buy 16 machines and I put them in. Right, who runs them? Where are the skills? There's no technical colleges now. There's no people aren't training weavers, people aren't training, weaving technicians, people aren't training the menders of the fabrics, to put the faults right. Those skills aren't there. And the one thing that makes me laugh is, and this isn't about politics, but when it's talked about, we're going to do this and we're going to create 100,000 jobs and we're going to do this, it's like, where are those people going to come from? It's like we're going to revive textiles. We're going to create jobs for 50,000 weavers and 20,000 technicians, and where are they going to come from? How do the schools promote textiles? How do colleges promote textiles? I would be suggesting that a lot of kids talk to the parents and say, oh, I'm thinking of going to work as an apprentice in a weaving mill. Oh, you don't want to do that, lad. All the mills are shutting down, everything's gone to India, and they're noisy, and they're dirty, and they'll make you redundant, and you'll go on short time. It's like, yeah, that was then. I mean, you've seen the environment here. And for me, young kids coming into this environment, what's wrong with it? It is a skill. And it's a skill that once you've got it, you're going to move. It's going to be a skill that's going to be wanted. There's a lot of work to be done on promoting textiles as for employment.
And what do you think people will say in 50, 100 years of the Sean years at Peter Reed?
I guess that the Sean years at Peter Reed is we got through the pandemic. It's things like that, you know, we've managed Brexit, we've managed the pandemic, we've managed the cost of living crisis. I would think somebody looking back would be thinking, bloody hell, he did all right to keep it going. Because we had so much thrown at us. You know, so I would like to think that people look back and say, well, he steered us through quite a lot of turbulence, introduced new products. You know, we've gone from just bedding to table linen to bath linen to now doing cushions and throws. He didn't make many cups of tea. He was a character. He was just a good boss.
Sean, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me.
You're very welcome. It's been enjoyable, and thank you very much for taking time to come and see us in the north.
So into our shed of greatness goes the world's finest bed linen by Peter Reed, number 40 on our list of the greatest products we make here. Thanks for all your messages following episode 39, the musical Saw. Stephen Caroline, you are most kind. Philip Ray, many thanks for the suggestions and the coffees. Wise Words, Nathan Cole. Dan Sherratt, thanks. I'm going to drop you a message. And Fiona Burgess, enjoy your clogs. I'll be taking a break now to sort out my finances and prepare to hit the road again. But I'm already looking forward to visiting numbers 41 to 50 with you. Talking about the show's finances, please don't forget our sponsor AVEVA. Do sign up to their newsletter if you haven't already. You are helping the factory next door when you sign up. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to hang out with you these past 20 weeks. I hope you'll join me again later this year. For now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're happy. Until next time, bye. A final shout out to our show's partner, AVEVA, a company that has a long history of helping manufacturers optimize their operations. It's a leader in industrial intelligence and was founded almost 50 years ago in Cambridge. Its software connects and empowers people to improve plant productivity, sustainability and business agility. If you're interested in manufacturing, which I'm guessing you are if you're hanging out with me, AVEVA's got a newsletter. Please do sign up to it. Go to www.aveva.com/factory. Just a reminder, I'll put the website in the show notes. My thanks to AVEVA for supporting our manufacturers and for supporting our show.